Today, let's find out what happens if one of Dom's most powerful Titan fights against the strongest set of G-men across the skibidi toilet fandom. So far, it's no longer a joke that the Clock Titan holds some ridiculously overpowered set of abilities that easily ranked him one of the most powerful Titan in the show. But would all of this really matter when faced up against a broken opponent like the OG Jimmy? How about the Super G-Man, or to make matters worse, what if the Clock Titan has to take on the G-Man apocalypse in a 1-versus-1 fight? Bet you wouldn't want to miss out on how interesting this one is going to be. Anyways, beginning with the first fight, the Clock Titan would have to go head-on with the OG Jimmy. For a fight like this, it's obvious Jimmy is going to need everything in his power to stand a chance, from the best of his weapons, abilities, versions, and manpower. Meaning not only would Jimmy be at his peak version in this fight, but as well would be showcasing all of his insane potentials at their very best. At least utilizing some of this back in the series, he was able to hold his own against the strongest Astros and many others. And you could actually tell nothing knocks harder than the 5.0 version of the G-Man, but on the other hand is one of the Clock's strongest Titan. In everything, the Clock Titan beats 5.0 Jimmy hands down, most especially in abilities, but we would get to that in a bit. In his arsenal, there's an energy blade that could be used to easily one-shot opponents regardless of how tough they are, and adding a small chunk of his Clock abilities in this fight. Yeah, the rest would completely be history, just as it was in his fight against Male 04 and 05. Next is the Undead G-Man from the Skibidi Wars. Actually, this guy has more things that could easily give him away in this fight, and speed is one of them, yeah. The Undead G-Man is actually very slow, and as well lacks crazy damage potentials, which is supposed to complement his close fighting style against a broken opponent like the Clock Titan, unlike the OG version. Although, I'm not actually saying he's no way a tough opponent. Yeah, his durability stat is however quite impressive, but completely falls short of crazy damage material that could actually make him stand a chance a little while against a big show like the Clock Titan, and honestly, this might just be the easiest opponent for the Clock Titan on the list. Moving on, let's bring one of the Zombieverse biggest shows up, the Super G-Man. Being the only G-Man on the list who could go on full Titan body and make things go crazy, the Super G-Man is a complete havoc in the series with the help of the X-18, most especially in his best form, Turbo Mode. But if we're to compare these two with each other, beginning with fighting style, I think the Super G-Man takes the win here. Yeah, both in close range and even in melee fight, the Super G-Man is just too good. Speed, however, would most likely go to the Clock Titan, as well as durability and physical strength. But speaking of weapons, well, that might be kind of tricky as they both have relatively crazy weapons in their arsenal. Abilities would straight up go to the Clock Titan, yeah, no one comes close. And with all of this, I mean, it's obvious who the winner here should be, as the Clock Titan dominates most of the important areas. Finally, to the last one, the G-Man Apocalypse versus the Clock Titan. Well, this might just be the first G-Man to defeat the Clock Titan in this video, beside the Clock Titan fighting his way through the G-clones versions of this guy. The Apocalypse G-Man himself is a very huge threat. His one-time core release is just like a nuclear explosion, and just like the Clock Titan, the G-Man Apocalypse also possesses a giant energy blade that could cause a very fatal damage with a one-time swing. With the Apocalypse G-Man's overall stats, actually, he's more of a powerful opponent than what a single Titan could go head-on with and defeat, except that the Clock Titan would be getting a helping hand from a very powerful Titan like him. The Apocalypse G-Man takes the win with a mid to high difficulty. However, check out this video to know what would happen if the TV and camera Titan got infected earlier in the Monster Up series. See ya.